Hey everybody, Dr. Darin Ingels here. We're continuing our series talking about the multiple sclerosis. It's March, it's MS Awareness Month, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of lifestyle management in managing MS. So there's several aspects of, how we live our lives that makes a difference on whether you maintain your mobility or improve or start to decline. And a lot of these things can be really challenging when you have MS because you're tired, you're dealing with spasticity. If you're on medication, sometimes you're dealing with the side effects of the medication. So I know there's some confounding factors in here we have to overcome, but nonetheless, there's a lot of these things that we can do to help improve our quality of life. So number one is really sleep. If you're not getting deep restorative sleep, it's really hard for your body to repair itself, restore itself. We've got a lot of research now showing the importance of getting deep sleep. When you get into that deep sleep state, that's when your brain detoxifies, that's when neurons repair themselves. So we've got evidence that we actually can repair these neurons that have been damaged, yet it takes a long time under the best of circumstances. Some of the research suggests it can take up to 9 years for neurons to repair themselves. So with MS, it's a long game. We're not necessarily going to see these improvements in weeks or months. We're really talking over the course of years. So sometimes when you start making these changes in your life and you don't see improvement right away, it's really easy to get frustrated and say, well, look, this isn't really working, and then just screw it, I'm going to do something else. But you really got to be persistent and diligent, and if you do that, you're going to find over time your health is going to improve. So committing to good sleep habits is really important. That means, cutting off electronics an hour and a half to 2 hours before you want to go to bed. Make sure you start getting your brain in that relaxed state, so when you're ready to go to bed, it's easy to fall asleep, stay asleep. You want a dark room. Ideally, you want a cool room. We've got some evidence that about 66 to 68 degrees is where you want to set the thermostat to get good quality sleep. Make sure the room's completely dark and there's no distractions. In a perfect world, that's what we're shooting for. If you've got kids, I know sometimes kids are disrupting you and they're waking you, but do the best you can. But as much as you can commit to having good sleep habits, that is going to give your body every opportunity to repair itself in the way that it should. You also want to commit to going to bed and waking up around the same time every day. Sleep is very much a pattern, so the more that you can help teach your body about that pattern, it's going to be consistent from day to day. So, on the weekends, most of us have a different schedule. We'll stay up later, sleep in later. Try and get your body on a track that's within about an hour or so of the same time, just so your body can get used to that, and hormonally it starts changing in a way that you get relatively good consistent sleep. So sleep, number one, by far the most important thing you can do for your lifestyle. Second of all is really movement or exercise. Again, this can be very challenging for people that have limited mobility or have other aspects of MS that prohibit them from doing, activities that other people might. Yet, no matter where you are, there's something you can do to help improve your mobility. So for people who, can walk, walking is great. Any kind of exercise, stretching can be great. I know Dr. Walls talks a lot about using e-stim, which is a type of electrical stimulation. It basically helps with that connection between your brain and your muscles connect better, so it's easier to control your muscles. A lot of us with MS have problems with spasticity, so therefore our mobility is a little bit impaired and it's harder to do some of these activities. But e-stim is something that's a very easy way to help open up the muscles so that you got a little bit more flexibility. If you're interested in doing e-stim, you'll definitely want to work with a health professional to get started on this. There's a lot of machines out there you can buy that are relatively inexpensive. I bought a device that's about $80 on Amazon, and I actually worked with my physical therapist to show me how to hook it up, set the settings appropriately, so I'm getting the most out of it. So if you got a good physical therapist, or if you don't, find one who's knowledgeable about e-stim. Again, you can find these devices that are relatively inexpensive, and they can teach you how to do it at home. But the trick with this is that while you hook the e-stim up, you're doing it while you're moving, while you're exercising. That's a really good way to start, again, reteaching what they call these neuromuscular junction areas, these areas where the nerves tie into the muscle. And again, that's going to help start improve your strength, your stamina, your mobility. And again, consistency is the key. It's not like you do it once in a blue moon. I know Dr. Walls is really good about doing this every single day. I know she commits about 2 hours every day to her exercise regimen. So I know for a lot of us that's really challenging, but this is going to be one of the better ways that we can help maintain our mobility. So any kind of movement, exercise, yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong. There's a lot of very gentle types of exercise that aren't overly strenuous. And as you feel like you're improving, you can increase the intensity, the duration as you see fit. But doing something is better than doing nothing at all. I talk about this in my other videos. I mean, I do not enjoy yoga at all, but when I do it, I feel tremendously better. I can feel my mobility is better, my strength is better, my balance is better. So again, it's one of those things where it's a bit of a mental hurdle, but if you can commit to doing these things, you'll see improvement in your health. So we've got sleep, we've got exercise, and the last part I think is really stress management. Dealing with any kind of chronic illness can be very stressful for you, your loved ones, your family members, your children. So having a way that you can help manage that stress, and whether it's meditation, whether it's an exercise regimen you do, whether it's talking with a therapist, it really doesn't matter. But I think it's important that you have that avenue to express yourself, share how you're feeling, because I know it's hard even with your spouse, your family, to talk about how you're feeling, because they're not really going to understand it in the way that you feel it, and words sometimes are hard to express in the way that you're feeling, so that other people quite understand it. So have that outlet that you have that brings joy to your life, is a way that you can express yourself. It helps reduce your stress, helps improve your quality of life. So all of these things together are things that are really important as we're dealing with MS to get our bodies moving forward. So again, sleep, movement, stress management, these are really key things that anyone can do on a very limited budget. It doesn't cost necessarily a lot of money to do these things, yet it's something that's important to help us all get better health. So thanks for tuning in, and join me next time as we continue our series talking about MS. Thanks.